Ooh, hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. GoodTimesWithScar here, and welcome back to Scarland, a land where we take survival building to the extreme. And we're here on the west side of Scarland at the roller coaster, getting ready to work on a brand new modern bridge that will expand from our Scarland transportation system all the way across the water here, and it will be built in a beautiful modern style to reflect this design that we have up here that we built some time ago. So, my friends, let's get this episode underway. And welcome to the project site. So we're right down here getting our dimensions set up and ready to go. So once you're kind of figuring out when you want to build a bridge, you pick the height. So the height of the track. So the minecart track that we're going to build here will go across here, starting at this block, and it'll go 93 blocks to the end right there. That's how long the bridge is going to be. So once we decided, and this is at 73 height for our particular design, but if you're following along, you can go a variation of heights. So that's why anything below this block is irrelevant, because we just kind of add the blocks once we're done up on the top, and it depending on the height. See, this block's a little higher than, or a little lower than this block. So yeah, so what we're gonna do now is where we're gonna start is getting the tower built up. This is where it kind of matters of getting, dimensions, designs right. So as you can see, we've got up to about 3 blocks, and we're gonna go up to about 6. So let's go up 2 more here. There we go, looking good. So these will be the towers that'll connect the suspension wires to the main structural tower in the center. So I think that'll look really, really cool. All right, so let's see what we've got here, my friends. Let's get this set up. I'm gonna put some temporary blocks here in the center. There we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start to kind of, let's see how we can do this. Let's start bringing these pieces along here like this. And the design of this bridge is a bit of a combination similar to that bridge. It was kind of inspired by the Bay Bridge and then the Golden Gate Bridge in one. This one's going to be designed over the new Bay Bridge suspension design. With a few modifications, of course, because it doesn't have the towers that we're building here. And it also has more of kind of a wave kind of shape to it, kind of a bows out a little bit, whereas this one's going to be straight. All right, there we go. And then we're going to move this across here like that. There we go. And then we're going to introduce a couple extra little colors, and I think it'll be really cool. And it's fun to kind of take like a real world thing, and then how can we manipulate it? How can we change it to make it something really cool into a Minecraft space? There we go. All right, wonderful. And we're going to jump on down here, cut that piece out, and then let's sneak back in here. Okay, so like we talked about, this is where let's connect these blocks here. This is the track. So the Scarland transportation system will come out of the station on the mountain there, come along here, and at this point right here is our build. So we start here, this is 1, then 2, 3, and we go all the way down to the end, which will be 93. So one thing I want to do while I'm going across here is ask you guys, what are you excited about game-wise this year? What is your most anticipated games? I'll let you know mine. My most anticipated games of the year so far are Planet Coaster, No Man's Sky, and Astroneer. Now I have 2 additional slots, as you know, for my top 5, if you will. So I'm thinking maybe it might be Battlefield. I'm kind of interested to see if they take Battlefield into a new direction, maybe a new time period, which would be amazing. Call of Duty, I'm on kind of a wait and see because I didn't like Ghosts prior, so I'm kind of a wait and see to see how it looks. Maybe with more time in development, maybe the game will be a little bit better, which I'm hopeful for. But those are my most anticipated games. Let me know, what is your most anticipated games of the year? Of course, Planet Coaster and No Man's Sky will be on the channel, so don't worry about that. That's going to be some amazing Let's Plays. And of course, Twitch streams, I think, can come from this particular series. Roller Coaster Tycoon World's a bit up in the air at the moment because, of course, they had their beta and it was fun. There were some issues, and I know I touched upon them, and the developers, I think, have gone back and kind of reworked some things. But release date's kind of still up in the air, and I have no idea at this point. But there we go. So, like I said, definitely let me know what your most anticipated game is of the year. And we're over here, and what we're going to do now is we're going to start working on this tower on this side over here. And like we talked about, these blocks above the track are what matter. Everything below just depends on the terrain below it. Just bring those blocks all the way down to the bottom. There we go. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 5, and that's 6. So we'll base everything off that pillar. There we go. And it's kind of fun to be back on this side of Scarland, of course. We spent so much time over here, terraforming and getting this all done. So it's always kind of fun to come back because we've been working in the other older areas of Scarland, of course, as of late. There we go, looking good. So the design wise for this particular design, the tower, we need to kind of add a little extra to it besides just the quartz and that white color. So I'm thinking about taking some of the cyan clay, still trying to keep it in that kind of modern style, and putting that in the interior, kind of like a jelly donut, if you will. So I'll bring that up like so. And you might have noticed, yes, I am in 1.9. So Scarland has finally been updated to 1.9. So far, it's good. The only thing I have noticed, and let me know if you've experienced this also, chunk loading. Chunk loading, especially when you're moving quickly through the world, it's kind of sporadic. Like chunks will flash in and out. It's very distracting, especially if you're in like a creative world and you're flying. So like we were doing, like getting, you know, new worlds set up, trying to pick out things for new projects, new series like Hermitcraft, things like that. When we were flying around, my first like time in 1.9, I would notice it's very strange. Like the chunks were loading when we were like picking seeds and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's so far I like 1.9, but there are some strange performance and lighting issues too, especially with torches. But the good things of it, you know, the combat mechanics, it's kind of fun to kind of have a little change there, of course. And like I said, we're just kind of, you know, making sure this is even with the rest of the platform and all those good things. Of course, 1.10 or whatever the next update's going to be, 2.0, I don't know. Whatever it's going to be, boy, oh boy. I hope it's something related to building, and I want to talk more about that in my next Hermitcraft episode. Anyway, there we go, my friends. I think that is starting to look good. So let's start adding some detail here. So let's put that block along there. We're going to put this block like so, and then we're going to sneak on the back here. Let's get some scaffolding built up. There we go. Looking good, looking good. I want to cut out all those blocks in the center. All right, so we have this basic design here. We have quite a bit of, we have something to work with, but I'm just not sure where I want to go. I think I'm going to go right here. So that's a spacing of 2 blocks there and then a half of 1. So what is that? I don't even know. That's 1, 2, and a half, I suppose. So we'll place that like that. So I think that'll look good. And then everything in the interior wise, I think that's when we can get a little bit fancy. There we go. Put that across there. And then let's grab out this. Okay. And we're going to fill that in there like so. And then we'll put that down like that. Awesome. And we'll back off just a little bit here and we'll take a look. Okay, there we go. There we go, my friends. I think that's starting to look good. Now, like we talked about, these are the towers that hold up the suspension cables. So how do we deal with this? So what we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And then on that, let's see, why don't we go up to 4? Let's just try 4 real quick. And if we did that, okay. And then what if we move this block down 1, okay? So what I'm thinking anyway is that if the suspension cable comes into this little thing and then goes straight outwards, I think that could look really cool. And this just gives us a little more height, which is always a good thing. There we go. And let's click that on there like that. And I think these towers are slowly but surely coming together. Look at that. I think that looks really cool. And then we're going to scaffold up here just a little bit more and to just check and make sure everything's kind of up to code. There we go. And then we'll sneak back down here. I'm going to stick an additional block like so, and then we'll work our way back down. And I want to get a bit of an angle on this to see what it looks like from afar. So this wall going across here definitely could use a little sprucing up. So let's see what we can do here. Let's grab this out like that. There we go. And then we're going to push that right there. And I feel like this needs to be bigger. I feel like that needs to come down just a little bit farther. Are you kind of following me there a little bit? I feel like, how about we take this block out, we cut that block out and replace it like it was. There we go. That's what we want. And then I think what we could do also is we can just put that right there. Nice. There we go. Awesome. Wonderful. There we go, my friends. Let me do the same on this side. Let me catch my breath and I'll be right back. All right, and welcome back. And look at that expanse. Oh, I think that's going to be amazing. Once we get the suspension cables up in the air and the big tower in the center, oh, I think it'll look really cool. Now, Bob the Building Creeper Inspector did not approve of this tree, and he blew it up. So we're gonna have to go back and repair that eventually. But one thing we need to do before we get some of the track laid out, and that's what I wanna work on now, is getting this little interior section built up. So I think it'll look cool to add just a little hardened clay in that center there. I think that looks really cool. So let's get back up on the track here. So let's jump back up here. Awesome. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna cut out that block right there. We're gonna place down that like so. And then we're going to bring these pieces like that. See how we made 3 across there like that? And then let's see, from this block, we're going to count this out. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Very, very cool. So now we're going to cut that block out like so. And then we're going to replace it like that. Boom, bada, bam. And then fill this in like so. So every time we're going to start at this pillar right here. We're going to go all the way out to 12. And this kind of represents 12. So once again, we'll count from here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. So we got that all settled. So that's the kind of how we're going to power and get all of the track ready to go. There we go. Looking good, looking good. And bridges are totally one of my favorite things to build in Minecraft. We've built a few of them. So we have the big, suspension bridge there, of course. Oops, my mistake. And then we have all the little bridges that connect the fishing cabin project. And eventually, once we get everything kind of settled, all of these bridges will eventually connect. We haven't figured out a great way yet of connecting the fishing cabin project to the main kind of highways in the sky throughout Scarland, which is, of course, that bridge. Because the roller coaster project there's not a good amount of terrain to get around, and I cannot figure out a good solution. The same thing applies for the roller coaster here. It's blocking our transportation loop here. So the transportation system is going to bring us to here. Once we get into the system there, all of a sudden we start interfering with the actual roller coaster because of all the interior areas. So of course the Dwarven areas, the mines, all those different things are all underground around here. So I haven't actually found a good spot to put the station yet. So that's what I'm kind of a challenge at this moment. And I've spent hours, my friends, believe me, hours trying to decide on how this is going to connect. But at this point, I just really wanted to build this bridge because it's definitely, I thought you guys might enjoy it. So I really wanted to get it done. So eventually I'm going to figure out where this transportation system's actually going to end up going, because at this point I still have no idea. And there we go, my friends. I think we've got a good start on our system built here. We just now need to get the suspension towers and all those things built up and ready to go. So let's jump out here and kind of get a good bird's eye view of it. And I think that's going to start looking good. We're going to cover, of course, all the stone and all the redstone mechanic parts to it up with all sorts of beautiful designs. And there we go, my friends. So hopefully you enjoyed today. And until next time, this has been Good Times with Scar, and we'll see you later. So we're going to connect right here. So I brought down the track going all along here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring that to about there, like so. All